Hey folks, guns, gear, and on-target training. Out here in Oregon today, and I have been asked by several folks at the range, several of my friends, subscribers, folks on Facebook, folks on Instagram, a cross-section of people that I know are in my network, to talk about used firearms, especially if you're a new shooter. Should you buy new or should you go with a used firearm? Well, I'm going to share some of the firearms and handguns that I own. I've also bought some long guns, specifically 22 lever action Henry repeater, which is just a phenomenal gun. So I've bought several police trades and also used firearms with great success. If you appreciate our content or any of the content on the videos that we're sharing, I'd ask that you subscribe and like the video. Also share it with your friends and family and share it on other social media platforms if you feel it would benefit folks. All right, let's get to talking about some of the values that are out there and some of my experience with used firearms. Back in the early 90s, when I first started shooting seriously or taking a lot of classes and practicing a lot, I purchased a used police trade Gen 2 Glock 17 9mm polymer frame pistol. And I put tens of thousands of rounds through this gun. When I got it, there was a little bit of holster wear right up here. And so it clearly had been in a holster. It clearly had been shot a little bit. But it looked, in terms of when I detailed stripped it and I looked, the thing was just in phenomenal shape. The condition of it, there was virtually no wear on it. And it was accurate as a 9mm Glock can be right out of the box. And so I from that point on, I'm like, well, okay, I spent $300 versus at the time, I think it was $400 or $450. But I saved about 25% to 30% buying this gun as a used police trade. And I thought, there's some pretty good deals out there. So over the years, I've added some others. Sticking with Glocks, I recently acquired this Glock 23 and this is a 40, for under $400 from, I believe it was AIM Surplus. And, AIM Surplus, Palmetto State Armory, Classic Firearms, there's a whole bunch of different folks, including your local FFL, has and continues to receive different police trades. So in many cases, you're going to find some real values out there that may save you $100, $200, $300 over a brand new firearm, the same firearm. Now, what I found with police trades is generally they're shot very little. The point being that in most cases, you can pick up a used gun, and especially if it's a quality name brand, right? Glocks are durable, M&Ps are durable. You could go right down the list. SIGs. I bought a used SIG 226, $350, used police trade. Phenomenal gun, put tens of thousands of rounds through it. So they're out there, they're good deals. Let's keep talking about some of these police trades. This gun is a Smith & Wesson Gen 1 M&P 40. Now, this gun I bought used from a friend, guy I knew very well. And I've seen this gun recently advertised for less than $300. So same setup here, right? We've got the Gen 1 version, the extended beaver tail, right? The classic Smith & Wesson iron sights. In this case, I've upgraded with a fiber optic sight. But this gun, this 40, is really, really reliable. And what's cool about this is you can get a different barrel and different magazines and shoot 9mm at it. Or you can also shoot 357 SIG. So for $300, less than $300, you can acquire a very reliable, durable Smith & Wesson pistol like this M&P 40, Gen 1 40. So again, I've seen these repeatedly advertised at some of the groups that I've mentioned for under $300. Phenomenal value. I'm going to start with the iconic Model 10. So the Model 10 has been around a long, long time, many, many decades. And it has been used and carried by law enforcement, military, pilots in the Vietnam War. It's one of those very reliable tools, and you could debate about whether a revolver is a good self-defense tool. I think it's totally adequate, and in many cases, depending on the person's strength, flexibility, they're practicing, all that stuff, a revolver might be a really good option. This particular one, very heavily used. I believe it was under $350, and I took it out to the range because, I mean, this thing has been, police trade that probably came from overseas, and it has not been well care of in terms of the finish of the gun. But my goodness, the gun shoots great. Very good double action trigger, very accurate for a revolver. And, the great thing about revolvers is not much I have to do. I just work through that double action trigger. When it stops going bang, empty the rounds, put new rounds in, and get back to work. Again, not as fast as a semi-auto, but I'll tell you, this gun, I would feel very, very good about having this as my personal protection handgun. If I could only own one handgun, I'd be completely happy with this. Well, Smith & Wesson, a number of years ago, took the Model 10 and did some upgrading to it. This is a 64, Model 64, I think it's -5, and it is rated for plus P. When I first got this, used police trade again. I got this and I went out and started shooting it, and I couldn't believe how good the trigger is. It's really remarkable, and so it's got the Pachmeyer grips on it, fits my hands well, 38 plus P. Again, another good revolver for under $400. Now let's think about this for a minute. If you went to buy this gun brand new, it'd probably be $600 to $800 retail. So for under $400, I've got the same gun that really had virtually no wear on it. A little bit of holster wear, but nothing. The cylinder is in great shape. The bore is in great shape. It shoots accurately. It's reliable. So if I was going to spend $800, I could put, and I bought this instead, I could put $400 toward training and ammunition for practice. So think about that. Instead of, as a new shooter, buying a new gun and saying, oh, I got extra money, I'm going to go buy another gun. I would advise, stick with that gun for a while. Go master it. Learn the manual of arms. Get comfortable and practice, but make sure you get some training. And this is something from a defense standpoint. So many people think because they've got the gun, they're ready to fight. And I'm telling you, you're not. You're not. However, you could get training and you could understand when you can use deadly force in your state. You can understand how you use the tool. You can understand some tactics around what you should use, what's cover, what's concealment, how can I shoot and move, and all that kind of stuff, which is far more than this. But this in and of itself, guys, is not the solution to preparing for a life and death or defensive situation. So sorry for that rant there, but I think it's important. So again, revolvers, great deal. Apply the difference to ammunition or training. All right, one more. This, I think it was $219. This is a Ruger 2245. Again, thousands of rounds through it, bought it used. It was not a police trade, but somebody else had traded it in. And the gun, aside from a little bit of holster wear here, so don't know what the application was. Maybe this was somebody's wood gun, where they just threw it in their holster and they went out in the woods and they did whatever they're going to do. But other than that, accurate, reliable, good trigger, 100%. Gun is just reliable and fantastic. So guys, bottom line, when you're looking to purchase firearms, I believe you should seriously consider used as well as new firearms. Frankly, I think the deal that you can get with a used gun and apply the delta between the cost of that used gun versus new, applying that money toward training and practice ammunition and just ongoing practice, you're going to get way more value than spending so much money on a handgun that you can't go and actually afford additional training and practice time. So that's really the way I look at it. I think police trades are phenomenal. If you're not looking at this as an option, fair enough. Maybe you got just more money than you know what to do with. And in that case, please become a sponsor through Patreon or just send me cash. Take either one. All right, guys, sorry for the long rant about all this, but I really feel this is a great opportunity for folks to understand that in many cases, a used handgun, long gun, or shotgun might be right for you. Thanks so much for watching. Finally, and as always, stay safe.